Hello, and good morning this morning, everybody, or this afternoon, or this evening, wherever this day may find you. Good to see you here. My name is Paul Trani. We're going to dive into sort of what's new. I'll be kind of covering this, well, geez, for a while. But basically, this is meant to be your sort of Adobe Max recap, highlight some of my favorite features, and honestly, let's talk about your favorite features and what you got out of it. If anything, hey, it's all good. Good thing all the sessions are recorded and all that good stuff, so I'm just so happy you guys are here. Hello, Bliss. Sam Peterson's in the house. Michelle says audio and video are good. Bam. Sean, what's up, Sean, Frank, Andreas? Yeah, good to see everybody here. Matthew, Reverb, Mike. Feel free to say hello in the chat. I'm watching the one, of course, on Behance. Oh, I see you, Felicia. Good to see you, Felicia, over there on Facebook. So feel free to join me on behance.net/Adobe Live. I'll try to keep a track of the chat, but let's dive into this now and kind of talk about the week. And hopefully it's treating you well. So cheers to that, huh? All right. Oh, good morning, Matthew. So we have a full day, if you couldn't tell from my big head. Full day and full couple days, to be honest with you. Starting yesterday, actually, I was actually out. So what I feel like most people do, most Adobe employees do, is we work so hard on Adobe Max. By the time it comes, we immediately take that Friday off. And technically it was Friday. Friday was off for us at Adobe. So a lot of us took Friday and then some of us took yesterday off. So that's what I've been doing as I was in New York City. Anyways, enough about me. Hopefully you've been hanging out with Voodoo Val, who's been diving into her Photoshop Daily Creative Challenges. Then we have, boy, that type is really small. Wait for it. Character design tips and tricks with Leanne Vance. I love character design tips and tricks using Fresco. Now we have Character Animator, which just recently got an update, which is pretty exciting. So we can talk about that. We have Claudia's talking about ad banners, so she's doing the Illustrator Daily Creative Challenges. Then Brandon Gross is doing your XD Daily Creative Challenges. And looks like Brandon Gross is doing a social media platform for creatives. All right, designing a social media platform for creatives. That sounds like fun to me. So yeah, Voodoo is the greatest of all time, but so is Chris Georginas. Chris Georginas, I want to know how many people you had in your session. Not to call you out, but I know you had a lot of people signed up, and I was totally jealous. I'm actually not jealous, but I think it's awesome, and I'm super proud of you. So yes, all those sessions are being recorded, so make sure you watch those on max.adobe.com. Also below me, as you can see, dive into fonts tomorrow morning, just so you know, a language support and diacritics, which I don't even know what those are. So maybe we can learn together, join there, and yeah, hang out with Ari and everyone else. So that'll be good. That's the Adobe Fonts show. Also tomorrow, by the way, we have Aaron Nace. So this is going to be pretty exciting. Tomorrow at 10:30 a.m., Aaron Nace is going to be creating captivating composites with Aaron Nace. And I will say I'm going to be honest with you, there's very few sessions that I watch, maybe even multiple times. Like, I usually watch them again, and Aaron Nace is one of those people, because he, I watched one of his from like a year ago, and I'm like, I'm still learning a ton. So this is awesome. Yeah, so hopefully, Christianius, we get numbers for all of everybody attending Max, because, again, it's cool that it's a global event and it's free and all that good stuff, so that's pretty awesome. So Aaron Ace tomorrow's going to be cool. Branding and packaging for a supplement brand with Nicole. So you really got to sell it with the branding and packaging for a supplement brand, right? Supplements, they're not really regulated by the FDA. So it's like you're like, hey, this doctor says this is awesome. So so I think that'll be fascinating. I love supplements. I even helped my brother make a brand of supplements that we could talk about later. So anyways, also drawing along with Kyle T. Webster tomorrow afternoon, 3:30 p.m. Pacific time is be awesome. So that's what's going on. Yes, that's right, Wade. Aaron Flern Nace hype for sure. Yeah, he's just like one of them. I mean, how could you not like him after watching, you know, one video of his? So just really like Aaron. He's a genuinely like nice guy that's into crystals and stuff, and I'm into it too. He'd be the type that burns some sage. I should do that. Like, he'd have some like, I don't know. Maybe he'd be using essential oils, right? He's the essential oil guy. And I'm like, I'm all for it. I got essential oils. I'm into it. So he's the man. So let's move on to news. All right. Welcome back, everyone. And you're right. Hello, Bruce. Thank you for saying hello to almost everyone. Good to see you. Good to see you here. Jan as well. Cool. So, like I mentioned, we have Adobe Max, and that's our #1 news item that we'll get into. I also wanted to point out, maybe we'll kind of, I want to deconstruct this sometime, you know, and I'm like, okay, this is the new Meta sort of Uber brand for Facebook, right? It's called Meta, and this is their logo. I kind of wanted to deconstruct it, but at the end of the day, I realized, like, you know what? I don't care. It's not a bad thing. You know, yeah, we get it. It's an infinity symbol. What sells it the most is the subtle gradient in there, right? Giving it a little bit of depth. But yeah, I'm like, yeah, so what? A big corporation, like, they made a new brand. It's a squiggly line. Like, I don't know. I think we could talk about this. I say I don't care, and then I could honestly easily talk about it for like an hour and recreate it and compare it to other logos. Now, if you do a quick search, you'll find plenty of brands out there, sort of like websites that have already done that, by the way. So, again, when it was first released, because it's meant to be sort of something that gets put into motion real fast. I'll just share my screen. Here's one from just Design Boom randomly, right? And you can kind of see how they meant for it to be always like kind of like in motion, right? Designed to live in motion in 3D, which is why it's kind of like this. This is the execution of it. That's fun. Cool. You know, it reminds me of one of those like fidget toys. I went to the Museum of Modern Art this weekend, and they had one of these sort of fidgety toys that you could kind of like, you know, bend in different directions. So that's what it reminded me of. So I'm curious as to your opinion of the new Meta logo. Let me know what you think. Just because I'm curious, to be honest with you. I am curious, right? And like I said, what is it like, you know, the infinity symbol? This is one of the oldest, so it tracks back to one of the oldest infinity symbols, which is sort of the snake eating its tail. It's like life, death, the number 8, which is like a rebirth, right? So, always associated with the act of creation and new life, right? So that's kind of where a lot of this, you know, comes from. It's steeped in history and stuff like that. So, all right, Sean, good to see you. And by the way, Sean, like, you could also point this out, because it's like the first thing you want to do is compare it and say, okay, has it been out there before? Yeah, in a way. I personally like this one 1,000 times better. I like the 2 T's. I don't even know this company. I love all the rainbows. This is fascinating to me. But then again, is a logo meant to be fascinating? Is that their goal, to be fascinating or interesting? Maybe their goal is to be boring. Let's face it. Facebook gets caught. They get a lot of flack for a lot of things. Maybe they just want to be the boring company. And that's not a bad thing. Like, seriously. So anyways, I will stop. And you guys get the idea. Let's kind of move on back to Adobe Max. And I want to know you sort of like your favorite parts. I want to hear about, all of your sessions. Let's scroll back. And maybe you had a favorite session that you were really into. I know it's fun for us, you know, even us employees, because we finally get to actually, you know, watch content, which is unheard of, because we have to have a lot of that prepared in advance. So let me just kind of jump over and share my screen real fast. We can get into this. You guys have been hearing about this for months, but you know, we came through on our promise, had a zillion sessions, keynotes, These were our themes, right? I like the last one you read right there. So yes, we want to empower. So some things that slip under the radar. Empower and create. I could talk about features all day long. Empowering creative careers, which is huge, and combating disinformation. That's huge as well. You know already that this is leading to multiple sort of new shows. But again, when we talk about creative potential, it's a lot of this. All these new features in Photoshop, Lightroom Classic, Lightroom. Would love to hear. So many good sessions. You know, I got a chance to kind of jump into one here and there. I watched Jesus Ramirez's, which was good. Mark Keats. So that was good. Okay, Norse, if one day nobody connects to Facebook for a whole week, it'll get completely wiped out. They also have billions of dollars. But you are right. And by the way, too many people of us are hooked. Like, by the way, you're hooked. You say you're hooked. You're a like, I'm not. It's like, what value does it bring to your life? I'm hooked on Reddit. That's my problem. Anyways, I want to talk about and go through some of these, right? Might save Lightroom Classics and some of those. Premiere has the ability to remix. Character animator, right? It will track your face in the past, and now it tracks your whole body. So it can track your movement. So you create a character in Illustrator, and then we animate its full body using Body Tracker in Character Animator, which would be really fun to do if you ask me. Also, Vectorize is a technology preview on the iPad, by the way. Just so you know, so you know where that is. It's kind of divided up. Digital imaging and photography. We'll get into all this because I'm actually going to do this stuff, which will be even easier. 3D and Illustrator, which a big hit. I liked Lottie in XD and video, by the way. That's huge, right? So that's pretty awesome. All right, so XD has had a couple of awesome updates, as you could imagine. I encourage you to check out good old HP's stuff. That's Howard Pinsky, not Hewlett Packard. Whoop. But Howard has some great videos on that. It's like, yeah, he does a great job. Animate drawing layers. Just check out Kyle Webster stuff there, and perspective grids and guys. So anyways, I'm just reading from slides. I actually want to do this if that's okay, because I'm already bored, well, you know, looking at slides. Because Jardinus, exactly, Lottie, what does Adobe Animate need to do? Have some really solid output for Lottie animations, right? So that's the idea. But I can go on and on with these features. I'm actually just going to kind of hide that and just jump right into Photoshop. Or am I? Sorry. Or are you? Escape. There we are, and we're back. So again, we could talk about a number of these. Since I'm already in Illustrator, in case you missed it, let's actually ungroup this. Take Max, right? You probably saw, maybe you didn't see, but the ability to add 3D. So you know I'm going to be talking a lot about this. And this is just the beginning, by the way. So if I decide to extrude this shape, again, selecting extrude, it opens up the 3D panel, and then we can go ahead and have as much fun with this as we want, okay? You get the idea. Yes, exactly right, Chris. Lottie needs a dedicated Lottie doc type. I couldn't agree with you more. Right, so I'm just doing this one shape, but you can go ahead and see, yes, I can extrude it. It does everything that I would expect it to do, right? If I want to sort of navigate around it, I get these on-object controls. Grab the bar, you move it up and down, so hopefully these kind of make sense to you. Sort of move them left and right, but again, rotate, you know, all that good stuff. And we can give it as much depth as we want right up here, right? You know, you don't even need me to tell you how some of these work. It can get interesting if you use something like step. We'll use step, and then we'll, what do we do? Take down the width. Okay, we're gonna take down the width. And then we're gonna add multiple steps. Da, 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 da. Oh, actually, no, maybe I want this step up. There we go. So I'm just repeating this multiple times, right? And again, I just like looking at the things that, you know, it's like I really wasn't able to do this in Illustrator before, and this is kind of achieving some fascinating results, or pink G's if you'd like to call it that. So again, done. We can jump in that and play with it some more as well. We can even get into literally just have this 3D panel open, just click extrude, there it is, right? We could lay this flat. So let's just take this and let's just do front. Okay, so reviewing this, technically it is a 3D object, you know, that has some depth to it, but we'll jump into lighting and we'll cast some shadows. Now we have this shadow being cast, right, around this. Notice there's some clipping that occurs right up here. Yeah, we can go ahead and adjust the shadow bounds. But that's the idea, right? Easy enough to kind of manipulate this, and then you're going to work on the height. That's going to determine the height of the shadow. So again, just showing you a couple things. Let's actually turn this on. Let's see what this is. Materials. There's some materials on this, and I'll go on and on, blah 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 blah, right? So again, fun things you can do. I hope you guys are into it. Obviously, you can now share and you can have comments in your Illustrator file, so that is cool, right? It'll automatically sync fonts. That's so nice. So nice. Reminds me of Swift 3D. Oh man, Chris, it's been ages since I've even heard that term. Oh man, that's fascinating. Sneaks are great this year as well. You guys are so good. Let's talk about this. So now that you're in Illustrator, okay, let's go from Illustrator to Photoshop really fast. So let's take this. Let's even take this logo, for instance. Right, have this text layer. Let's take all of this. Let's copy it. Let's go into Photoshop, right in here, and we'll paste it in. And this is a new, I love this. This is kind of your sleeper hit. Paste as layers, and we're still working on this, but this will preserve the attributes and will rasterize things when it needs to. Okay, and you can learn more by clicking right there, but we'll just go ahead and click OK. And it's gonna, maybe it's gonna rasterize some things as it says right here. Do you want to continue? Yeah, I do. Done. Pasted it in. Okay, let's just turn this on. And you can see it makes this folder, or this layer group, and it actually rasterized the text. I know we're working on this now, but it does rasterize the text, but everything else is good to go. So if I decide, say, for the circle, I want to change the color to something else and put it behind everything. But that's all I'm doing. I'm just showing you that it's actually a obviously a vector object now in good old Photoshop, which is super cool. Ooh, I don't know. Oh, nice, man. Oh, man, I remember Swift 3D. Thanks, Chris. Oh, memories. So good. Let's take a look at a couple other things really fast. The heavy hitters for Photoshop, if you go into neural filters, you could have as much fun with this as you want. These neural filters, it's like an app within an app, but oh geez, yeah. Landscape mixer, harmonization, color transfer, all new. We decided to remix this landscape. Let's make it a lovely winter scene. Click OK. And what these do is so down here, these control the weather. Okay, and it should be working right now if I'm not mistaken. Yep. And these will actually add either bushes or trees or cliffs based on what you select. So that's what these are. These add sort of those natural elements to the image, right? And what this does down here is it just makes it sort of winter. But boom, look at that. Yeah, done. Are you not impressed? Because you should be. It's pretty amazing. Can we take a PS vector back into Illustrator? Yeah, you can. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what you're looking for, but the same type of thing is what I would like too. Reverb mic, hey, why not? Yeah, that's a good thing, like going the other way and maintaining all those layers, you know. Currently, can it do that? Yeah. You gotta kind of do a lot of it manually. And here's like, based on that one scene, which is right up here, here's a sunset, and here's kind of the beginning of snowfalls. It's snowing in the Rocky Mountains today, to other scenes other times of day, things like that. All created from one photo. And guess what? I didn't push one pixel. Right here it's overgrown. Isn't that fascinating? Dang right, it's fascinating. All right, Senju, good to see you. No net connection is needed for this. Bakri, good to see you from Sudan. Awesome. So you guys get the idea. Oh yeah, let me talk about this, because again, I don't have a lot of time. Oh shoot. Let's refresh. Oh, I might need to be... Oh man, I'm so sorry. Darn. Again, that's why this is in beta, but what I wanted to show you are the content credentials. So, in Photoshop, if you download it, go to Preferences, down to, whoop, sorry for my squiggly mouse, Technology Previews. Right in here, we'll scroll over, whoop, whoop. Enable content credentials. So you ready for this, Eric? You turn this on at the very beginning of you creating something, like the image that I've just shown, right? You enable it, right? And then you connect your accounts, and it will capture and edit all the actions you take on your content and attaches that as the edit history, right? So that's all you need to do. And you need to enable it right in this panel. So once you turn it on and restart Photoshop, it'll be right here, Content Credentials Beta. And then you open that up. And I'm sorry this is like currently, it's like struggling, but anyways. I have a whole video on that on YouTube that you're welcome to see. So this is just a shameless self-promo for me at this point. Content authenticity. So this is what it ends up looking like. Turn it on, you go about your way, and then it actually captures all that data for you. So that's all. Let's move on. I never have enough time. Such is life. We talked about other things in the, even outside of the slides. And I just pasted a link in there for that video. We talked about spaces at Adobe Max, right? So being able to have basically a whiteboard with your team. Oh, please refer to Sean's stream. Sorry I missed it. Anyways, I missed it. If you want to repost, that would be great. All right, so anyways, so there's that. There's also Photoshop and Illustrator released on the web as well, okay? So bear with me 1 second. Again, these also are in beta, which is why I have to go to a special URL and make sure I'm logged in and all that good stuff. So, yeah, let's see if I can get that connected for you guys, but it's exactly what you expect if you ask me. And you can go ahead and use Illustrator and Photoshop on the web. But this is only the beginning. It's like when we put Photoshop on the iPad, right? Everything wasn't there yet, but it'll get there. And really it's just having Photoshop and Illustrator everywhere is the idea. So, come on, baby. Check it out now. Jump on over as I stalled. Let's go to create new. So I'm at a special, this is basically Illustrator on the web. As you can see, I'm in a browser, and sure enough, here's like a little splash screen, right? And it's only the beginning. So this will be fun, right? Everything's gonna work as expected, right? So if I grab a rectangle, what do I wanna do with rectangles? My shortcut keys work, and jump in here, draw out, flip those colors, you know, change them, you get the idea, right? Even as I select it, I can see I can go ahead and adjust the individual points. We can go into direct selection. If I just want to curve these two corners, we can curve those out. Again, just like kind of everything that you'd expect, which is awesome. I'll do a command I want to just duplicate this. That works as well. Duplicating this. And anyway, you get the idea. I'm just making like a little leaf logo. That's all. Right? And there's Illustrator on the web for you. Cool. Cool. Amazing. Super fun to do. Ooh. As well. So I'm down to my last minute. Geez, I've ran out of time. There's more I'm going to show this week. Also tune in for this Friday. I'm going to be covering Illustrator and Photoshop in depth as part of my masterclass and a number of other things I have to do. So, oh, cool. So Sean knocked out an amazing stream on the same features. So good. Thank you, Bruce, for saying that. Thank you, Michelle, and everyone. You guys are fantastic. Stay in touch. We'll see you all soon. And thanks for hanging out with me. We'll see you guys in a little bit. Stay tuned for Voodoo Val.